Awesome. Hi, y'all. So excited. Happy Sunday. I'm super pumped to introduce our speaker tonight, Sammi Dreiling. Y'all have probably seen her on Instagram or lots of different platforms. She's actually spoken for our team before, like I want to say like a year or two. COVID's kind of messed up my timeline, but it's been a while. And since she last spoke for us, she has had two babies. They're adorable little girls. She's gotten married. She's become an MVP. Lots of things have happened in her business. So I'm super excited for y'all to hear her story. Um, and it's not all like rainbows and butterflies, which I think we can all relate to. And that was something that I really appreciated. We've been chatting on Instagram and she really opened up about her journey. And I know a lot of us are in similar boats where it's like life happens and sometimes we like don't, see Arbonne as our top priority. And so we put it on the back burner. And so I'm excited to hear from her because we're all going through life stuff. So anyway, Sammi started Arbonne at 18. She got to MVP at 10 years into her business, which I think is an important thing to know because I know a lot of us, me included, see people on Instagram and we're like, they got there in a year or 2 years or whatever. So your timeline is your timeline. And a really cool fun fact is that she actually met her husband through Arbonne. They have two adorable little girls, and Sam is originally from Canada, which I think is like a super cool fun fact. And she's now living in Arizona. So for all of you Arizona people, I know we've got a couple, pop in the comments where you are living so that y'all can see if you're close by. So I'm going to toss it over to Sammi and she'll take it from here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gabby. And thank you all for having me and for popping on to spend some time with yourself and with your people and with your future self, which is really kind of what I want to share tonight. Yuma, I think that's on the border, right? I'm not close to there. I'm in Chandler, which is right outside of Phoenix, but still close enough. Super cool. But yeah, thanks so much for having me. And I just hope that you guys are ready to grow, ready to get comfy and uncomfy at the same time. Today has been crazy. The last few days have been crazy. So I'm like normally like going to show up as an MVP and put my makeup on. And, usually I have my makeup on for the day, but today was not one of those days. And so I was like, okay, I got to go get ready and like make myself look presentable. And then I was like, no, I'm actually just going to come on here with you guys and just be super real and super just like myself, because the journey before MVP was like me showing up and challenging myself, right? It was like, dress for the job you want, like go show up as that MVP, like go make yourself look and feel amazing from the inside out. And now that I am an MVP, it's like, I want my message more to be, don't put me or any other MVPs or any other VPs or anyone else on a pedestal at all and think that they've got it all together and think that they're always perfect and they always look a certain way. Realize how normal we all are and that you 100% can be one too. And that life looks crazy a lot of the time, especially with two kids right now. And it's okay. It's like, that's why I do this. I do this so that I can be home. And sometimes it's chaotic and sometimes it's crazy, but that's why I do it. And so it's like, it's all good. So this is me tonight. This is me showing up as me right now, and nothing else. So I hope you guys are ready to dive in. I like to go deep. I like to be real. I like to kind of challenge you guys, challenge people to ask questions, really ask questions about yourself, like really dive deep into those places within yourself that are more uncomfortable, because usually it's in those places that we're trying to avoid and resist that our biggest gifts are, our biggest transformations are, our biggest shifts are. And usually we're holding ourselves back because there's something missing. There's something that we're not accepting about ourselves. There's something that we're not loving about ourselves. And so my journey over the last 11, almost 12 years has literally been a journey of self-love. It's literally been a journey of creating and stepping into the highest version of me while fully accepting and loving all the other versions of me. So that's kind of what I want to share with you guys tonight, a little bit about my journey and those lessons. And maybe I can give you some tips and tricks to actually like going on that deep journey yourselves too. So like Gabby said, I started at 18. I was, just to give you perspective, I was super lost, had no idea who I was, had no idea what I was capable of, had no idea what I was going to do with my life. I had a lot of different passions and I knew I wanted more. I knew there was like something within me that I didn't really know or understand, but I didn't know how to access it. I didn't know how to use it. I didn't know how to figure it out. And so I was really just kind of flowing, kind of just going with the motions, you know. I was a full-time college student. I was studying business and entrepreneurship. So I knew I wanted to run my own business, but I didn't know what I was going to do. I was passionate about products. I was in makeup and hair and beauty type industry. And then I was also taking classes at a naturopath where I learned all about the chemicals in our product, in everyday products. So I was like making my own products at 17. And so those were kind of like my swarm of passions. And I was in this place of like, okay, I'm going to like have to open an organic holistic salon spa. Like that's what I'm going to do. That's how I'm going to, put my passions into one. But then I was also I was learning about mindset and, like how we can actually change our lives and all this stuff that was so inspiring to me. So I wanted to like inspire people too. And then I was starting to learn about health and like what we're eating. And, I started to like love wellness and fitness and that whole side of things. So I had those passions kind of bubbling up. And I got to this place of surrender where it was just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to find it, like bring it to me. And within a few weeks, I got introduced to Arbonne through a preferred client. And when I was looking through the catalog and reading the vision and the mission and everything, it was like, this is it. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm supposed to do. One of the things I'm supposed to do, this is a vehicle, or this is a path that will allow me not only to fulfill my passions, to do something I love, but also, which is what I didn't really understand, and most of you guys maybe didn't fully understand until you were in it, that it's really a vehicle of self-transformation, right? And it's a way to be surrounded by the most incredible people ever. I mean, this community is like no other on the planet. And so that's kind of where my journey started. And it was definitely ups and downs. It was definitely, those trials and tribulations. But the thing is, every single challenge was an opportunity for growth, right? Like we know that. You guys hear that all the time. And for those first 10 years, it was like really me holding myself back. It was me self-sabotaging. It was me, so to just give you guys a little perspective, I went to district in a few months. And then I was a district manager trying to go area, keywords, for 3.5 years. And finally, when I finally went area, it was because I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm just going to go make friends with people. I'm just going to go make connections. And at that time, that's when Instagram launched. And so I started making literally friends on Instagram, not cold messaging, not like what people do in network marketing today, but like, I genuinely was like, this is so cool that I can find like-minded people all around the world. And so that's all I was doing. And through that, I grew my business to area. When I got to area, all I said was, okay, I'm at area, but I've been in the business for almost 4 years. I should be a region by now. I should be a nation by now. I said I was going to do this. I said I was going to do this, and I'm not. I'm like still a failure. I'm still not enough. I'm still not good enough. And I lost my area within a few months. Why? Because I was not grateful for it. I was not honoring myself or celebrating myself. I was still in a place of total lack and unworthiness, which was a complete illusion, by the way, because that's what I was focusing on, right? it was these expectations I had for myself, where I was equating my worthiness to a title, to a measure of success, to having that Mercedes I said I was going to have, 4 years before, all these things. And I wasn't grateful for it. And so then when I went back to district, all of a sudden I was like, wow, I wish I was an area again. Like, I would be so grateful just to be an area. Right. And so then after another few months, another 6 months or so, I went back to area, and I was grateful this time. I was like, so grateful to be an area. But then I was still an area again for almost another 4 years. And it was the same thing to get to region, put it on a pedestal, put it on a pedestal, put it on a pedestal, 40,000. How am I ever going to do 40,000? That seems like so much, right? All the numbers and the titles, pedestal. When you put something on a pedestal, you put it out of your reach. You're telling yourself, I'm not in the same game, but you are. Everything is a mindset. So for those 4 years, it was like struggle mode. I was always in lack and struggle, right? And also I was in these patterns where it was like, I'll just do enough to just hit my numbers. Like, it was like I was afraid to work too hard, and I don't know, burn myself out, get overwhelmed. Does that relate to you guys? Like, do you have a fear of like working too hard to get to the next level? And if you do, if you'll be vulnerable, type in the chat, what is the fear? What is the fear of like giving this your absolute all? Like, why are you not doing that? What's holding you back from just giving this your absolute all? Because none of us are. I'm not, for sure not right now. So I'll call myself out too. Maybe not being good enough to be a nation. Yes. Won't be able to keep up with it. Yes. Belief. Yes. Absolutely. What else? Those are all awesome. And thank you for being so courageous, you guys. But usually there's something in the way, maintaining each level. Yep. Not good enough to help others. Yep. Okay. So here's, you guys, so good. Oh my God. Okay. I'm like going to get ahead of myself. So I have to like stay on track. Okay. Fear of being disappointed. Okay. Okay. Really good. Really good. I want to just like high five you all. Can you just high five each other? Thank you for sharing your truths, or your truths, right? Or your limiting beliefs, and just being vulnerable and sharing with each other. Cause this is how we grow. This is how we grow through the hard stuff. So I had all those same fears. And for me, it was realizing that I had this pattern from school where it's like, I'll just do enough to scrape by. Like, I'll just study the night before to get a good mark on my test, but I won't excel. Like, I won't put in hours and hours and like know the stuff. I'll just basically memorize it just enough to know it so that like, I'm still an A student, but like, I'm not really seeing what I'm capable of. Right. And it's almost like that quote where it's like, you're afraid of your greatness. Like, you're not really afraid of your failures. You're really, truly afraid of like how freaking powerful you are. So that was one of my patterns that I had to uncover. And so when I was finally going region, I had to get really honest with myself, just like you guys just did. Right. And you guys, these are the things that hold us back. These are exactly what you guys have shared here are the things that hold most people back from seeing what they're truly capable of, seeing what their life could truly be like, right? And there's a few different layers to this that we're going to kind of unpeel together. But for me, what I had to do was I had to get okay with working hard. And I had to just look at my business and be really honest with myself. And I started to make this connection that it was like my paycheck and my feeling of worthiness is going to equal how many lives I'm changing, how many people I'm serving, and nothing else. My worthiness is not attached to what I do or what I don't do. My worthiness is not attached to a title. It's not attached to a paycheck. It's not attached to a Mercedes. None of that matters. There's nothing outside of me or you that can make you more or less worthy. You are so worthy. You are limitlessly worthy of everything that you desire right now. If nothing changed, if you didn't change one bit from right now, okay, can you guys do this for a second? If nothing changed, and you think of all the wildest dreams you have, can you accept right now that you're still worthy of them right now without anything changing? Okay, it's true. The thing is, you're going to change. You're going to step into this whole new version of you. You're going to literally become a whole new self. But you can't truly do that until you accept exactly where you are with love and grace and like full, wholehearted acceptance, right? It's like we're always, it's this balance because there's like this, and I'll get into the other side in a bit, but there's this one side where it's like the badass you, where you're like freaking challenging yourself and like rising up and like becoming that next version of you. And then there's this other side where it's like this child inside you that's like, I just want to be loved and accepted exactly as I am. And the thing is, you need both. Like, you truly need both. But when we're always chasing the next level, we think, oh, I have to do all these things in order to become a region, or I have to be this in order to become a nation, or whatever that looks like for you, right? But the truth is, it's like you have everything that you need right now. And until you accept, until you love on all these versions of you that you've been your entire life, until you fully love them, you can't bring in and accept something greater. It's like you're holding this resistance against yourself because you're not being grateful for all the places you've been. So it's like, this is where that deep work comes in. Like, you want to look back at literally every version of yourself from when you were a kid, when you were a teenager, when you were heartbroken, when you had the hardest thing ever happen to you, when you had the greatest thing ever happen to you. And like, literally take time, you guys, and visualize, like, close your eyes and just see that version of you in your head. And just say, like, I love and accept you exactly as you are. And like, imagine yourself giving yourself a hug at every single phase of your life. And then it's like saying, thank you, little Sammi. Thank you, little heartbroken Gabby, that's a teenager that doesn't know her worth. Thank you for being who you were, because you're the reason that I'm here today. We have to look back at where we've been and love on ourselves, right? And when we do that, we can accept an even greater version of us to come through. But the more that we just look in the mirror and we pick ourselves apart, or we look back, or we look at where we're at now and we say, you're not enough, you suck, you should be here, should. You're just literally shooting yourself in the foot, right? And so what I want you guys to look back is like, look at what you commented, okay? Why you're holding yourself back. This is literally, you guys have said exactly, this is why I'm holding myself back. This is why I'm not doing what I know I'm capable of doing to get where I want to go in my business. Okay. So this is the thing that I talk about. One of the things I talk about the most, that is one of the most unspoken things in Arbonne or in business. Every single time, every single reason we hold ourselves back comes down to a lack of self-love. Why am I not consistent? Because there's self-sabotage. Why? Because I don't believe I'm fully worthy. Why am I afraid of maintaining each level? Or why am I afraid I can't do that? Or why am I not afraid that I'm not good enough to help others? Why am I afraid that I'm not good enough to be a nation? Or why am I afraid of being disappointed or being disappointing? Oh my goodness. It's a lack of self-love. We're so hard on ourselves, you guys. You are innately perfection. You're imperfectly perfect, perfectly imperfect. And all of the different ways that you could say it, like, you are you for a reason. You are literally you. You're the only you. You're the uniqueness of you. And that's your superpower. So we have to stop cutting ourselves down and self-sabotaging every step of the way and looking back on ourselves and being embarrassed or being shameful of who we've been before, because you're here. You're breathing, your heart's beating. You have a freaking purpose here. And everyone on this call and everyone listening to the recording, you're here after the hardest year in Arbonne. So I just want to give you a high five and a huge freaking congratulations, because guess what? In 12 years, this year has been the first actual hard year for everybody. Like all the times before when I thought it was hard, it was me doing all the things that you guys are saying here. I did all of them. Every single one of them I had to. And it was me doing that to myself. That's why my business was hard. It was me not fully loving me. It was me fully not accepting me. It was me looking for validation from all these people outside of me to say, yeah, you should do Arbonne. It's going to work for you. You're great. You can totally make it happen. That's not what I was hearing. Get a real job, stability. When are you going to quit? Obviously, this is not working for you. It's been 8.5 years and you're still not a VP. That's what I was hearing, you guys. But I knew within me that there was greatness here. I knew that if all these other people in Arbonne could do it, I could do it. And this last year, it was easy to give up. I had so many people in my nation give up. So many. Maybe some of them will come back. Maybe they won't. I don't know. I give them love. I love them all where they're at. But this was a hard year and you're still here. And that's huge. Okay. So I just want you to celebrate yourself, because it literally is about staying the course. And for me, when I was 18, when I first caught the full vision of this business, I made a promise to myself that I would never give up. I would never give up, because I understood very early on that this is so much bigger than me. And the thing is, all those years that I played these games, these self-sabotage games, didn't do that self-love, didn't go into my uncomfortable past and past versions of me and give them love, because it was so uncomfortable to cry and just be a disaster for a little bit. But I learned that it's through that self-love and acceptance that we can actually accept our greatness, and that we can accept that next version of ourselves to come through. And that's what this business is. These titles are a reflection of the version of you that you're becoming. And every single challenge that you're facing is the test, is the obstacle to overcome so that you can go and step into that next version of you. So don't push away when those challenges come up. Don't push away when those uncomfortable feelings come up. They're coming up so that you can love them and accept them, and they will be released out of your space, out of your body, so that you can bring in new. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's like, instead of being like, oh, there's that trauma coming up, or like there's that feeling, that trigger point for me where I'm now feeling unworthy again. What if it's not coming up to taunt you? What if it's coming up for you to finally heal and be okay with? Like, what if it's through that your everything you desire is on the other side? That's been my experience. And you guys, to me, this is what Arbonne is. Like, for me, it's like the business is a freaking no-brainer. I'm going to buy these products somewhere else for the rest of my life. Why wouldn't I buy them in my own store? These products are better than anything on the planet. Why would I not share that with people? That's it. That's all I need to know. It's just a no-brainer. Like, it is brilliant. It's smart. It's freaking fantastic. But for me, this is why I do Arbonne, because it's literally a vehicle of transformation for people. People don't know what's possible because people aren't surrounded by people like you. You're the gift. Like, you guys, your community, and you doing your work regardless of what anyone else is doing, put those blinders on, right? You doing your inner work and then your outer work in Arbonne, sharing this with others, showing others, that's your gift to yourself and to the world. And so the other thing about this beautiful self-love journey is I realized, even though I was trying to show up and make it about all these other people that I was trying to serve, every time that I stopped, or every time I self-sabotaged, or every time I started to be in that pattern of I'm not worthy or I'm not ready, I was just making it about me. And that was a hard pill to swallow. But it was the truth. And once I got honest with myself, you guys, here's what happened. I looked at myself, I looked at my business, and I realized that I'm making it about me. Every time I don't do this, I'm literally making it about me. Why am I not there yet? Why am I not? Me. And I was like, damn, I thought I was so selfless. And I thought I was, but it's crazy because it was in loving me fully that I could show up greater and I could show others how to do the same thing. So I realized that. And then I also took a real look at my business. And because I had that new understanding of my paycheck or my success my outer success is going to be a reflection of how many people that I've served, right? So I started to equate how many people I've shared the full story of Arbonne with, like sat down and did a DA, had a coffee meeting, talked about, like they now know the whole story. You know, whatever business presentation you guys do, discover Arbonne, is Arbonne for you file, whatever. Okay. That was me equating one person served. That's kind of the equation I set up for myself. So I started looking back thinking, okay, I want this lifestyle. I want to create this outer success where I'm making $5,000 to $10,000 a month as a regional vice president and have a Mercedes, and I can be the contributor for my family, and like I have this 8-month-old baby at the time. We're living in our parents' basement over and over again. Like we're stuck. Like I need to change. Like enough is enough. That's kind of the point I got to. Enough is enough. I'm sick and tired of playing small, but I'm loving all the past versions of me. So I opened my calendar and I was looking at the past 3 months. And I was like barely maintaining my area. Every month I was like between 8 and 14,000. And I was looking at how many coffee dates or like how many Discover Arbonnes I had actually had on average in those last 3 months. And I think the average per month personally was 5. So every day I was going to the coffee shop to work. Oh, I'm going to go work. I'm going to go do Arbonne. And I was going to do all this stuff and feeling all busy, right? Like I'm a businesswoman, haha, Instagram, look at my fizz. Yet I wasn't sharing the gift. I wasn't sharing me the gift. Like I just said, you're the gift. I wasn't loving me fully. So I wasn't sharing me fully. And then I wasn't sharing the gift of Arbonne. And so I thought, okay, is 5 people a month worth $5,000 in a Mercedes? Just like having a little conversation with 5 people. Is that like giving that life worth? Like, is that what it equates? No, it was like, I'm like, oh, duh, you know? And so then I started I got serious, right? I just got serious. I sat myself down and I was like, I don't know what enough is to get that life. I don't know what it looks like. Right. And so that's where all those fears start to come in. Like, what does the work actually look like to get there? Am I going to be so overwhelmed? Am I going to be able to handle it? Blah, blah, blah. We feel like we're responsible for all these people, which we're not. Every single individual is responsible for their own business. We are responsible for the energy and the team environment that we create. Other than that, we're all responsible for ourselves in our own business. And we all know that, right? So take that pressure off and that illusion, because that's not true. And so I started, you guys, having 8 to 10 meetings a day instead of a month. And within 3 months, I was a region. And here I am after 8 years saying, this is all I had to do. I actually just had to help people. Like I actually just had to share this with enough people. And, you know, I had a few people on my team. And I just said to them, get me on calls all day. I want to be booked solid. Here's my calendar. I got like an Acuity Calendar thing, which like even just paying that $15 a month was terrifying to me because that's how in lack I was. But it was like, okay, well, if I want to be that busy, I better start showing up like that. I better have it ready. If I'm going to want to be a regional vice president, I'm going to start acting like a regional vice president. And if my team's not booking me with calls, I'm going to go out and meet 100 new people if that's what I have to do. There was no option anymore because I was stepping into the next version of me, which is the next part I want to talk about. I call this You 2.0. So I want you guys tonight to take your pen and write your name 2.0. Okay. And so what I did is I started to like really get honest with myself. What is what is a regional vice president or a national vice? I've done this so many times now. The next version of me, who is she? Like what things, what characteristics or what habits or what patterns do I have currently that I will not bring into this next version of me? And what characteristics, patterns, ways that this new Sammi shows up, Sammi 2.0, how does she show up that I don't have currently? And so I started making a list like Sammi 2.0 gets it done. Positive mindset, calm in chaos, like whatever it was that I wanted to become, I wanted to learn it. What I didn't have it. So I don't want you guys to say like, well, I'm not like that. You can change who you are. You can literally, that is the journey of life. If you ask me, you are here in Arbonne to discover who you're actually meant to be. So by first off, loving you, looking yourself in the eyes in the mirror and saying, I love you and I accept you. And then going back to all those versions of you and freaking literally giving yourself a hug and crying your eyes out. Like, I want you guys to like, you have to do the work though. Like sometimes I get real into it on the call and everyone's crying. That might not happen tonight. That's okay. But I'm really calling you guys to do this on your own time, to like get in front of that mirror and like stare yourself into your soul until you're like, and saying out loud, I love you. I accept you. And looking back at every single version of you and doing the same thing. I love you. I accept you. There's nothing that you need to do. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of success. You're worthy of whatever it is that you're calling in. That's who you are. It's hard, you guys. But to me, this is the new world. Like, we can't go on forgetting who we are. I wrote this book. You want to know what the first page says? To every woman who's ever forgotten their power. Because too many of us, and the guys too, have. This is why you're here. This is why you're in Arbonne. It's literally a catalyst of self-love, transformation, realizing and remembering who you are, and then going and showing up as that and making this life the best you could ever make it. And you're going to be fulfilled by doing that for yourself, and then also just serving others without expecting anything in return. And Arbonne is the best vehicle to do that. So here's another thing I wanted to mention from somebody. What did somebody say? Oh no, Amber, you said fear of being disappointing. And I heard disappointed. But disappointing like that just makes me want to love you so much. It's like, you can never be disappointing. You know, you're only disappointing yourself because there's a part of you that needs to be loved on by you, nobody else. We're always looking for other people to validate us, for other people to fill those holes, for other people to love us. We are the only ones who can fill that void. The only ones. No title is going to change it. So this is where I want to say, if you were saying disappoint, I don't want to be disappointed. Like, I get to the top and it's like, oh, this sucks. It doesn't suck. It's great. Okay. but that's not what's going to make you happy. You're not like, I remember when we finally went nation, and I'm kind of going off the rails a little bit, but it was me stepping into this new Sammi 3.0 or 4.0 or 5.0 at that time, right? Was me becoming a nation. And it was a year of process of like me putting out all of these affirmations of like, this is who I am. And then putting it up on my wall. I have like literally posters all around my desk of like, I am this, I get stuff done right away. So instead of saying I'm a procrastinator, oh, I suck at procrastinating. No, the new me gets it done right away. And so when I'm like, oh, I have to follow up with that person, instead of being like, oh, I'm going to put it on my list, it's going to take me as much time to write it on my list than it is to freaking send the message. Like, let's go. Right. So that was a big habit change that I did. I started getting stuff done right away. And also like delegating and just so many things, right? So many things, accepting help, like not being afraid to work hard, like not being afraid to like, well, what I realized going raging is that when I started working hard and doing what I hadn't done for 8.5 years, and then I finally went raging in 3 months, it was like, wow, this is why I do it. Like, this was the most fun I've ever had in my business. Doing all this work, doing all the calls, meeting people and like talking about their dreams and like sharing this gift and how this is changing our lives. That is the best part of this business. The work is actually the best part. In fact, it's way harder to think about how hard the work is going to be than to just do it. That's a real truth bomb for you guys. Okay. Anyways, back onto the U 2.0. Okay. So, what was I going to say? So going nation, right? So we're sitting there on the night I went nation, like really, like I'm sitting there. It's like 12 o'clock. I'm exhausted. I was pregnant at the time. So here, I'll tell you this story. I decided like we were not in line to go, like I'd never done over 80,000 or like 85,000. Okay. So we were like, not like at 120, like we were not close. We'd never been close. We'd never even done over 100,000. And in whatever the month it was, see guys, like, I don't even remember, like April, I think. I just decided, naked children running around. Okay. I decided like, okay, reminder, you can create whatever you want. Like, stop holding yourself back. If you want to go nations, declare it and then do the work. That was my shift. And so I did that. And then literally 2 days later was GTC. And then all of a sudden we doubled in volume and we were at like 72,000 on like whatever, the 16th or something. And I was like, oh my God, we're going nation. And I had no idea what was going to, like, I had no idea. But then we had never done over 100,000. We finished out with 198,000 that month. So not just 160, like to go qual, we did almost 200,000. And I was just like, holy crap, like this is crazy. It was so exciting. And so then the next month starts and I'm like, hey, we're finishing nation this month. Like, I'm so excited. And about 5 days in, I found out I was pregnant with my daughter, Aura. And with my daughter, Sage, my first daughter, I was so sick that I was puking for 9 months, like literally all day and all night, like just not well. And so I was like, okay, I'm like, if I'm like 4 weeks or something, I have about 4 weeks until morning sickness will hit. So I have 1 month, I have this month before I feel the effects of pregnancy. So we got to go. Like, we got to go. Like, I was like, crap, like we have to finish nation before I feel like crap. You guys, 2 days later, I could not stand up without vomiting. Literally bedridden, literally zombie. And so I had to go, I was like this in bed, like, you know, just like, and I went live for my team and I told them I'm pregnant and I can't move. And I was showing up on 22 calls a day to go qual, like not every day, but a few days. That was like maybe like 4 or 5 days. I was on 22 calls in each day because that's how much I wanted it. I was like, every 30 minutes was a new call. I was like, let's freaking go. Right. And all of a sudden I had no energy. I felt like crap. And I was like, I can't show up the way that I need to finish nation. But instead of just sabotaging, I was like, nope, this is happening for a reason. It's not me going nation. It's my team. I want them to rise. I want them to become leaders. I want them to promote. So I went live looking like a zombie, like really not good. Okay. And I just said, I'm pregnant. This is me right now. I don't know how this is going to happen, but we're doing this. And I think that it's happening to force me out of the spotlight so that you guys can rise. You need to show up with the energy that I used to show up with. You need to be the VP. You need to be the leader of your team. And they did, you guys. Everyone did. Now, I was still on calls. Now, I was not my best self, but I still was showing up. But here's the thing. In order for me to get through the day without getting sick, I had to take sleeping pills. Okay. It's like a morning sickness thing that my midwife gave me. It's literally a sleeping pill, Unisom with B6. That's the only way that I was not puking. So I was on sleeping pills all day and all night for like 2 months. And so the whole time I was going nation, I was literally zombie. And I remember sitting on the couch, and then with the numbers we're just taking through, like we were just putting in orders. Everyone was on Zoom. It was so exciting. And it clicked over, and it was like, oh my God, I'm a nation. And here's what I want to tell you guys. I was exhausted. I was like, cause I was on sleeping pills and pregnant, and I had a toddler, but I was exhausted, and I was just like, yes, like I was so happy. But it was like this whole 10 years flashed before my eyes of like, the journey is not getting this title. It's who I've become. I'm a completely different person than who I started. And it was so clear to me that that's what this is. Like, that's the gift of Arbonne. You're here to realize who you're meant to be. And every single test along the way is literally just a challenge for you to level up. So instead of resisting it and being like, oh, this is hard and it sucks and I'm not meant to do this, I can't do this, stop. Love yourself enough to push through and go make it happen. Love yourself enough to go see what you're capable of. Love yourself enough to go through all of those hard times so that you can freaking thrive. It's like, you gotta be okay. So I've been following this guy, Kyle Cease. He's amazing. He has a book called The Illusion of Money. You guys should totally read it. He did this drawing, okay? It's like, this is your comfort zone, okay? And this is like abundance. This is everything you want. And so many people don't want to leave their comfort zone because they're afraid of like being broke, right? And like failure, whatever it is, success, failure, abundance, broke, whatever, okay? Whatever it is that you're looking for. And he says, you have to be okay with both. You have to get out of that comfort zone. You have to be okay with the opposite. Once you accept this, okay, what's the worst that can happen? I could fail. Actually, in Arbonne, what's the only way that you fail? You quit, right?
Yep.
So what's the risk here? The risk is you fail and fail and fail until you succeed. You fail and learn and learn and learn and learn and learn and learn until you go figure out who you freaking are or remember who you are, and you create everything that you want. But you have to realize it's not getting that's going to make you happy. It's you becoming who you're meant to be that's going to fulfill you. And that's what this is all about. So I'm done. Sorry, it was so long.
No, you're good. I know some people have to jump off. So if you need to jump off, you can go ahead and do that. But if you want to stay on for a second, do you have a couple minutes if anybody wants to ask questions?
Yeah.
Okay. And I just want to say a huge thank you. I mean, like literally I have so many notes, and I feel like that was exactly what we all needed to hear. And your story and everything that you said is so relatable. And especially the part where you're saying like, we are the gift. I think it's hard for us to remember that, but I just wanted to say thank you. And you're such a gift, Sammi. Like, we're so grateful for you being on here tonight. So if anybody wants to pop questions in the chat or chime in, I know it's getting late for some people on the East Coast, so feel free to pop off. And this recording will be on our team page, so you can come back and rewatch a million times. I'm going to be doing that 2.0 exercise like all night long now.
That's great. Yeah, I should have asked you guys how long you normally do. I usually do like 40 minutes. So if it was supposed to be 30, I'm sorry.
I know, I should have told you we're good.
That's okay. I just want to say thank you. So many good pointers there with the 2.0 and loving yourself and all the things. Thank you so much, Samantha. That was amazing. Really, so grateful.
Oh, well, I'm just cheering you guys on. You deserve everything that you desire. And, you know, we all just have to get out of our way and remember we're the gifts and go show up and shine our light.
So true.
Yeah.
What's the name of your book?
Oh, my book is called Idea. Awaken Your Inner Goddess.
I love it. And where can we all find you? What's your Instagram handle? And make sure y'all to go check out your book is linked in your Instagram, right?
Yes. I'm really not trying to sell my book to you guys. I hope you know that.
No, I mean, we all want to read it.
But my Instagram is Sammi Dreiling, Sammi Dreiling, Dreiling. You'll find me there. But yeah, I'm just cheering you guys on. So share your shifts with me, and, you know, we're all in this together. And I truly believe that literally, like, the best is yet to come in Arbonne. We are so excited with what's coming. And so, like, good job sticking this out, this hard phase, because, oh my gosh, on the other side of the valley, there's a big view, and I'm pumped for it.
Love it.
All right.
Thank you so much. Well, happy Sunday, y'all, and have an awesome week. Bye, y'all.
Bye.